All right, electric game between the Cardinals and the Packers in 2015. Shout out Zaylu7122 for the rec. Let's get into this reaction. All right, guys, I moved myself over to this side, wherever I'm at, right? I'm over here now because I noticed that I was fucking with the score. So I was like, the clock was getting blocked and shit by my face. So now I'm here, and we're going to get into this reaction. Cardinals, Packers. Let's get into it, okay? This is a hell of a game, the wild card round.
Receiver Davante Adams is out.
Divisional round, excuse me.
With a knee injury. And on defense, Pro Bowl cornerback Sam Shields returned.
Aaron Rodgers with no young Davante Adams, who was one of their best players already. Sam Shields was a great corner.
After missing 4 games.
We're not going to watch the whole thing. We're going to skip. Of course, it's not going to be a 3-hour reaction, but let's get into it.
With a concussion. For the Cardinals, starting linebacker Alex Okafor was put on the non-football injury list after injuring his toe over the bye week. He'll be replaced by Kareem Martin now.
All right, thank you, Michelle. The team basically very healthy. Bruce Arians has done a tremendous job, longtime assistant coach with several teams, incling the
Bruce Arians, great defensive coach. 15-0 at home versus non-division opponents is impressive.
Pittsburgh Steelers, when they won 2 Super Bowls.
It was obviously before he went to the Bucs, I believe. Yeah, no, that's correct.
His 3rd year, and Mike McCarthy has taken his Packers in his 10 years at the helm to the playoffs 8 times, including the last 7 years in succession. Green Bay won the toss. They elect to defer. Mason Crosby ready to kick off and get this game started.
J.J. Nelson, I remember him being mad fast, UAB.
Nelson, who was the fastest guy at the combine, he ran a
fastest guy at the combine. There you go. Super fast, super speedster.
4.2840.
We know the Packers. I want to get acquainted with the Arizona Cardinals offense again. It's been a while.
Is back to take it along with Britton Golden, and Golden takes the ball from the end zone out to the 22-yard line. The Cardinals will start from there. Let's take a look at their offense.
Carson Palmer, USC.
Oh, Carson Palmer. I mean, we got an old team.
Johnson, Northern Iowa. Larry Fitzgerald, University of Pittsburgh.
Michael Floyd, Notre Dame.
John Brown, Penn State. Darren Fells, UC Irvine. Jared Valder, Hillsdale College. Mike Cupati, Idaho. Lyle Senline, Texas.
This is somewhat of a blind reaction. I think I remember this game, obviously. Zay recommended to me in the comments. I think that this was the buzzer-beating Hail Mary, but let's see.
Ted Larson.
I'm going to get into it and just watch.
NC State.
Bobby Massey.
Watch a little bit of the beginning, a little bit of the middle, somewhere in the middle, 2nd or 3rd quarter, and then the finish.
Ole Miss.
The Cardinals, and here they start with the tail.
Tight stack. It's kind of a bunch formation because the tight end is in there as well, but he's got the 3-point stance going. 3-by-1 with a tailback.
Back Johnson, they will use a lot of empty backfield sets. And the question is, how will the Green Bay defensive backs match up all night against the receiver?
Nothing special there. Clinton Dix, Clay Matthews. I mean, this is a throwback. Julius Peppers. Pretty studded defense over there.
They started the
when you talk about star power.
Round where the rookie David Johnson picks up a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. During the regular season, they led the league in yards per game, 408. And they were 2nd in the league in points per game, 30.6. The Cardinals in the top 10 in almost every important offensive category, and in several of them in the top 5.
Tough offense. Obviously, they're the favorite seed here.
Ball at the 22, 2nd down and 9. Stack 2 receivers to the left. That's Fitzgerald coming in motion. To the wing on the right, and looking that way, and the pass is too high over Larry's head.
I don't remember Carson Palmer ever being that elite while I was like football conscious. I think with the Bengals, he had some seasons there early before I was like developed fully, right, when I understood football at all, where he was like in the MVP conversation, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't remember seeing him being wowed at any point in time.
Clay Matthews that time, blitzing, putting the heat on, and it's 3rd down and 9.
Well, until we see otherwise, Carson Palmer with that tape on his finger, we saw him injure that finger against Philadelphia. We watched him practice the
That could obviously be impacting him.
other day. A few throws got away, and the first one here sails a bit. He feels confident. with what's going on with that finger, but that throw said otherwise.
Why are they showing us the dude's ass? Come on, man.
That happened
I did not sign up for this shit.
4 weeks ago. He didn't miss any time. In fact, he came back that night after he been hurt in the game in Philadelphia.
NBC is sus, bro. Fox's broadcast has always been the best in my opinion, but they all have their own vibe. NBC, CBS, ABC.
Here comes the blitz again. Matthews coming around the outside, fired over the middle, and it is almost picked off by Sam Shields, who's missed the last 4 games.
The Fox, Cletus on Thanksgiving. Come on, can't beat it.
With a concussion, he was in that protocol. The pass intended for Mike.
Dog, early 2010s football, like 2010 to 2015, honestly was so peak, dog. Oh my god, unbelievable.
Floyd, and it's 4th down.
Honestly, even before that, like 2005 to 2015, peak.
There we go. Michael Floyd right there going to come down, and Sam Shields, what a difference maker he is.
I don't know if that's a great decision. That was into a tight window.
We're already
And it could have been picked.
seeing now the Green Bay Packers, a willingness now to bring some pressure. We haven't
Wait, was that Sam Shields? I guess he wasn't hurt.
seen the last few weeks without Sam Shields. Man-to-man is back.
Drew Butler to kick. Micah Hyde is backing up. There's a flag down. And Micah Hyde from the 28 coming to the outside. Gets around the corner. And then dives forward to the 47-yard line. Flag came down at the snap.
Micah Hyde, I believe, was a DB. You got DBs returning kicks. Janice, remember that name.
So for the moment, we'll wait for the call from the referee tonight.
And here comes trotting out who was my GOAT pick before Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Arm talent out of this world. Very unconventional throwing motion. Was able to do stuff off platform that other guys couldn't.
Clete Blakeman.
I'm going to turn off the subtitles now. I should have done that before.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 51. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, Green Bay.
Nate Palmer, and that will back them up. And let's take a look at the Green Bay starters.
Aaron Rodgers, Butte Community College.
Eddie Lacy, Alabama.
John Kuhn, Shippensburg University.
Randall Cobb, Kentucky.
James Jones, San Jose State.
Jared Aberdare,
Butte Community College.
Wisconsin.
David Bakhtiari, University of Colorado, Boulder. Josh Sidney, Central Florida.
Corey Lindsley, The Ohio State.
TJ Lang, Birmingham Brother Rice. Brian Balaga, Iowa.
So Michelle talking about that offensive line
Some of these guys are just unintentionally funny, dude.
getting back together. They've used 3 different starting left
They figured out the floating head in 2015, even before that, but I can't fucking figure it out in 2025. 2026. Jeez.
tackles over the last 3 games. But tonight they get Bakhtiari back. Eddie Lacy is the running back, and Rodgers will start in the pistol from the 17. And a flag goes down. It is motion
Eddie Lacy, big motherfucker.
up front.
Always good to have a running back that size,
And that will be a false
if he's fast enough,
start, taking it
if he's quick enough and can cut.
back 5 and making it a 1st and 15.
All right, we've got the vibe. Let's go ahead and skip to the middle and see what's going on in this game here. That's a tough little toe drag.
Look out from behind. Palmer gets wrapped up and taken down, and that is Julius Peppers.
Nationwide is on your side.
Scrimmage, and we go to Michelle.
Well,
All right, start of the third quarter. Watch a couple drives here and go on to the finish, all right?
with wide receiver Randall Cobb out for the game, Mike McCarthy was in a hurry to get to the locker room.
Randall Cobb, bro. Haven't heard that name in a while.
Make adjustments. He said he wants to mix in more running plays as he did just there. And he also said they'll be making some big changes in terms of personnel groupings. On defense, safety Micah Hyde suffered a hip injury in the first half. He is questionable, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Keep an eye on their defense when they come out to see if Hyde does indeed come. As Rodgers fires over the middle, and that is
Look at the fucking zip on that motherfucker, bro. Straight line. Hand to chest.
By the tight end, Richard Rodgers.
Laser accurate. I mean, look, it was a pass over the middle of the field with a clean pocket. I'm not trying to glaze, but you can see, sometimes with a quarterback, you can just see right away who's a fucking baller and who's not. Like, the way they deliver the easy balls, too, like, it just all speaks. The velo on that thing was fucking crazy.
35-yard line for a first down.
And he just wondered how soon he was going to be worked into the mix here, because there really just isn't anybody else. And there's Richard Rodgers.
This is how, like, less technical the game was back then. This big fat motherfucker running down the field with terrible running form and gets open. It's because everybody had to be bigger back then, so the size was more of a factor. I'm not trying to diss him. I'm just saying. Rodgers to Rodgers.
Remembered for that big Hail Mary catch against Detroit that jump-started this season for the Packers.
From the 35.
You got the whistles in the stands. That's so fucking annoying. I think they did something about that. But you can hear the whistles. That's, like, for the viewer, it's distracting. I can imagine for the players it was, too.
Going in at fullback. And Rodgers.
Oh. It's a horrible throw.
Underthrown, maybe tipped, and it is intercepted by Rashad.
Looks like it was tipped. Looked bad.
Johnson. Trying to get it to Abradaris, and Arizona with.
Being tipped just sucks because it's like you really. Not really a lot you can do about it. Obviously, you try to throw around it, but if they just throw their hands up late, it's tough.
The big takeaway.
Well, there was the help we were talking about, but let's also take a look here and see if maybe Calais Campbell, I believe that was, got a hand on that football. And there goes Rashad Johnson coming down with it, but he ran underneath. And that was Ron Powers who took the deep phase of it, and it was Rashad Johnson underneath to come up with a pick. 6'8" of Calais Campbell made that play.
6'8", you got to be aware personnel-wise. That's a tip risk every single time you're throwing that way. It's something pre-snap to maybe note, but still tough in game to keep in mind every single snap when you're thinking about your other pre-snaps, your post-snaps.
So the Cardinals, whose only scoring drive started in Packer territory, they have another drive that begins at the Green Bay 47. David Johnson is the running back, and he will be taken down by Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews, man.
So there's no doubt about it, and no running game at all tonight for the Cardinals to this point.
Great linebacker play.
For either team so far to this point. And remember coming out of this game, Al, what the story was?
Look at that. No hesitation. Great with his reads early.
Clay Matthews hadn't had a tackle in 2 games, and there he goes. And now he looks like he's shaken up a bit.
So a different story tonight. And there's Matthews. For years an outside linebacker. Then he moved inside last year. The acquisition of Julius Peppers enabled that to happen. And Randall is the injured Packer. Darius Randall, the rookie out of Arizona State, had to come off the field.
Crazy how a good football player can kind of just play everywhere and contribute on the field in a myriad of ways. Like Clay Matthews, a guy like that who's physical, fast, can make reads quickly, and just knows ball. You can put him at DN to rush the edge. You can put him at linebacker. He can do a myriad of things. And then he can return to his natural position when you have another talented guy. Makes the team that much better, but that's football, man.
Collins comes in, another rookie. Those 2 guys are drafted first and second.
In basketball, how often do you have a guy, or in baseball, right? I mean, I guess it happens, but like, how often do you have a guy that's super talented at multiple positions? It's not often. It happens a lot in football. Not super talented, but where they're versatile.
Is ready to come back in, has to be out for at least a play. Second down and 11. Blitz coming. Pass deep downfield.
At least to an extent. And that's because football is so athleticism dominant, or at least it was in this era. Nowadays, it's way more technical. I'll agree. Like, skill plays a larger role. Like, a receiver who is very technical, good with his releases, and good off the line and quick, he's not going to just be able to play DB or tight end. But, Jordan Reed back then, he could have played tight end. He could have played receiver, but a vertical threat. A guy like, there were a lot of guys like that. There were a lot of guys who could go the other way, go from tight end to tackle. There were a lot of guys who could play fullback, and also Eddie Lacy probably could play fullback if he needed to, right? So, I mean, yeah. Your body and your athletic ability, your dominance physically, whether that be by speed, size, strength, all of them, quickness, explosiveness, agility, whatever it is the deciding factor in football oftentimes. At most positions, not quarterback, obviously. Not punter, not kicker, other than the specialist positions.
The intended receiver was John Brown.
It's not always the case even for skill positions like receivers and running backs. Skill matters, vision matters. Your ability to run routes matters for receivers, but, just in general.
And the coverage was good. Joe Thomas put the...
It holds true more often than for other sports.
Heat on it, third down and 11.
It's like a different defense. It really is. When you think you can play man-to-man coverage on the back end of this thing with Sam Shields, you take chances. You're blitzing. For Dom Capers, this looks like an entirely different defensive plan than what we've seen probably for the past, whatever it's been, 4 weeks that Sam Shields has been out. He has been what has led to the pressure from the Green Bay Packers here tonight.
Third and 11. Palmer 8 of 15 for only 74 yards. And he goes into double coverage.
Oh, that's tough. Ball hawk, haha, Clinton Dix.
Clinton Dix. Double coverage on the...
That was his whole jam.
Intended receiver, Clinton Dix with the interception.
Big play, close game, single-digit football. Field position's a factor. I like this game. Field position and other strategic inputs are a huge factor, of course, but we're going to go ahead and skip to the end. Good game so far. Let's go ahead and get a grasp of the situation before the final drive and go into it.
And was there contact here? That is pass interference. It is pass interference. He grabbed him, he turned the shoulders. Aaron Rodgers the whole way. He was moving right, but he was looking left. And Jeff Janis, because he hasn't been around Aaron Rodgers very much, sort of slowed down, but boy, that's tough.
Justin Bethel getting away with it. The Green Bay bench went wild, and Arizona takes a timeout. So it's 4th and 20, and it's the whole ball game.
Wow. Huge moment here. 4th and 20. 55 seconds left. Looks like the game's over. Cardinals have them. So let's see. Is this how the drive starts? Really? Wow. I didn't watch this game live myself, so I'm glad I'm reacting to it now.
For Green Bay to stay alive.
Wow. Well, we've seen one.
And I'm sure it was tight. Like I said, my boy in the comments, recommended the video, so I'm sure I'm missing some context. But looks like it was 20-17, 17-13, 17-13, then 20-13. So the Cardinals just nailed a field goal before this drive, it looks like. So kind of add some context there. We're in a situation now, though, where it's 4th and 20. The Packers have the ball. They got to score.
Hail Mary.
Punting the ball away with this field position basically will give the Cardinals a chance to kick another field goal and put the game away for sure, even if you have 3 timeouts.
There we go, right there. You're going to see that. Now, there's the grab. Now, does he turn him? Or does he turn himself? That is pretty close. The hand was definitely there. Did he turn, or did Janis turn himself going back for the ball? I think you can make that argument. Let's take a look. Did Bethel turn?
It looks like he pulled him a little bit. Enough to impact his ability to jump.
Wow.
He doesn't elevate as high because his footing is messed up by the fact that his shoulder is turned and he's rotated away from the play.
Well, if you're a Green Bay fan, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Well, especially
That's a big no call.
when you pair it with
But I don't know. It is close. At the end of the day, that's like a bang bang.
the earlier touchdown and the Brown offensive interference.
They're going for it here.
And getting those
This is like a prayer.
2 first downs by half a length. End of the game here if they don't get 20 yards. Here goes Rodgers again, all the way downfield.
Oh, wow. No, I do remember this drive. That's a huge play. Roll out, rush 4. See, this is what happens. In previous videos, I've been like, why aren't defenses aggressive in this situation? Why aren't they aggressive? And then you rush 4 and you have a 7-man box and look at what happens. This can happen. But I still think that overall you should be aggressive because otherwise you're just allowing matriculation.
35-yard line. How in the world against that defense?
What a big play. I told you to remember Janis, right? Yeah, big play.
Do you get a guy free? So Janice is there. The clock keeps running. Rodgers says, let's spike it. They got to get him set. We're down under a half a minute. That's 61 yards on a 4th and 20. 27 seconds.
They're going to run a play.
Yeah, they're going to run it. Rodgers.
They didn't get set.
No, they didn't get set. The flag is down. So they didn't get set.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. And whatever happens there, and there's going to be
12 seconds. I don't know if I agree with the decision to run a play there. I think you stop the bleeding, you spike it, and you try to, you have 25, 26, 27 seconds left. You're fatigued. You just ran a very long developing play. I think you spike the ball and you try to, but then again, the defense too, same thing applies to the defense. So it's a judgment call, right? But I would spike the ball and preserve the amount of time on the clock and then try to get a chunk, and then get a more reasonable shot at the end zone from like 20 yards away, not this far. 60 yards on 4th and 20 from your own goal line. Huge play.
a 10-second runoff.
What we just saw was insane.
As well here. So Rodgers went up to try to spike it. Then they wanted to run a play. Richard Rodgers wasn't set. The guy who was the big hero in the Hail Mary against Detroit. He doesn't get set. Here's Blakeman.
Illegal motion. Offense number 82. It's a 5-yard penalty, but there's no 10-second runoff. Still first down.
So no 10-second runoff.
This is the type of shit that happens when you try to run up to the line after a 60-yard bomb. Not many people practice that often.
This particular instance.
Damn. Miscommunication. That's tough. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Didn't cost you the game at the end of the day, but imagine he had caught that in the end zone. Now you're fucking livid.
Should have shut the play down. There's motion, isn't there?
Right.
Aaron Rodgers' ability to spin out of the pocket 2 plays in a row. I mean, he's got a good sense of the pocket too. Almost that, not on the level of Brady, but he can do it. And obviously he's got a fucking arm.
Oh my goodness.
An arm that nobody had ever seen before Mahomes.
Foul, which was the reason that there wasn't a runoff on that. So you got 12 seconds. And so it's first down and 15. And now the play is stopped before because of a timeout taken by Arizona.
Arizona takes its second timeout. This is a 30-second timeout.
They send him all the way back to the 40. They're trying to get his feet set. Now he throws and just has to save whatever vestiges remain on the clock. 5 seconds.
5 seconds left. It's looking over. I think like I said, I think you should have taken the chunks with 26, 27 seconds left. You were probably going to get a couple chunks. But, at least you'd have like a 25 or intermediate 2 deep route as opposed to like a deep route that you needed to convert. You know what I mean?
Well, and here's what has to happen, and you go all the way back to Doug Flutie days. Anytime you've got a Hail Mary, you have to give your receivers time to get into the end zone. So the quarterback has to buy some time. He has to move around for a little while and then set up the deep throw. And the great thing that Aaron Rodgers did on that Hail Mary against Detroit was to throw it so high it gave...
This is a 30-second timeout.
You know what? I want to do this drive justice, and I play it through. So I'm just going to play this through. I want to see that play. The way they line up, everything. This play at 12 seconds right here.
Rodgers was up there to try to spike it and instead wanted to run a play. And that takes the clock down. They put an extra second back on, so there's 12 seconds remaining.
Well, regardless, there was so much time wasted there by not taking the spike. The down meant nothing at that point because of where the clock was. So by trying to get the play off, there was confusion. You get the offsides, and you end up with just 12 seconds to go.
Right, because it took him 20 seconds to get down the field after a 61-yard catch.
Just like out of the end zone, you're going to see Rodgers buy time, probably moving around one way or another if he wants the Hail Mary, maybe one before that.
They send him all the way back to the 40.
We didn't get to see the formation anyway.
They're trying to get his feet set. Now he throws and just has to save whatever vestiges remain on the clock. 5 seconds.
Well, and here's what has to happen, and you go all the way back to Doug Flutie days. anytime you've got a Hail Mary, you have to give your receivers time to get into the end zone. So the quarterback has to buy some time. He has to move around for a little while and then set up the deep throw. And the great thing that Aaron Rodgers did on that Hail Mary against Detroit was to throw it so high it gave Richard Rodgers a chance to go straight vertical and go get it. I would rush the edge and not allow Aaron Rodgers to get outside the pocket here.
You saw the Cardinals moving around defensively trying to get set, and they called a timeout. I mean, you had a whole bunch of defenders saying,
I hate this shit, man.
you go here, and they had
I mean, Bruce Arians is a DC by nature, I think, but what are you trying to accomplish by calling these timeouts?
call a timeout.
You end up giving up the fucking play anyway.
Completely not set. The other thing that I always thought should
BJ Raja? I recognize this guy's face as well. Don't know his name.
be an option here is to try and jam up these receivers and let those pass rushers go, because if they don't get to the end zone, your receivers, there's no play.
We'll go to the Hail Mary against Detroit. This ended the game on a Thursday night.
68 yards in the air, and I'm telling you, that ball was sky high.
And Richard Rodgers made the catch.
And what Richard Rodgers did was he was outside the end zone and backpedaled into it, which gave him perfect position to make that play and save their season.
Second down, forget the 15. It's all about 5 seconds.
They're going to bring pressure.
Well, they did the last time, too, which I thought was pretty smart. They got Rodgers backpedaling. He resets Starks. They are going to bring pressure again. Rodgers is going to roll away, throws it up in the air, says a prayer, and Janice is please.
Dog, that is insane. Bruce Arians chose to be aggressive. I mean, the odds of this, though, like, that was a hell of a catch by Janice. The fact that he escaped this, slithered his way out of the pressure and threw it off his back foot or whatever it was off platform of some sort. I mean, good Lord, man. Aaron Rodgers is a talented motherfucker. And that was a hell of a catch. Over Patrick Peterson, wow.
One of the great throws ever made. Moving to his left, falling away, and launching a perfect throw.
That's insane. Now go back. Of course, we have to watch this again. Did he have control? They look at it. It's a scoring play. Is it a catch? Ball is bouncing around on his chest.
Oh, I don't think it ever touches the ground, but oh my goodness. Wow.
That was Peterson behind him. Johnson comes in. Johnson got his hand on the ball.
And then once he was in the end zone, then there was a late punch out there. I think he had control.
Oh, you got to have a guy in front of it. You got to have a guy in front of it. Oh man, that's tough. Traditional Hail Mary defense wisdom says that you have a guy in front, you have guys coming in from each side trying to poke the thing loose. I think, who knows, man? That's a pretty esoteric concept within football, right? It's not something you see often. But got to ask somebody with a lot more experience than me. But that's just holy shit, damn.
Oh, for a moment. And then it was Rashad Johnson. Is there control right there? And now Rashad Johnson comes in and punches it out. That's the way I would see that.
See, but after the punch out, he gets his hand in there. He scoops it under there. And I think he maintains that.
Look at this throw.
That's an insane throw. Holy shit. That's just talent.
Completely falling away.
You can't drill that. You can't practice that. You just got to fucking chuck it up.
Pressure in his face, and he launches.
I mean, again, they were aggressive. They didn't want to let the play develop. They brought pressure, and he managed to get the throw off. And that's where you could have made a play. You were still in an advantageous situation as a defense, and you ended up not getting it.
This is insane.
Yeah, Janice got permission. There's a lot of discussion going on in New York right now. Back with the result. I can't believe this. The verdict.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. It is a touchdown.
Wow. Stands means not confirmed, not overruled, but stands. So, call on the field was pivotal. Wow. It was honestly close. That shit might have touched the ground before he got under it.
So Jeff Janis makes it 20-19, and now Mason Crosby has all of the pressure. Does he send it?
Now, do you go for 2 here with Aaron Rodgers? You have Aaron Rodgers. They have Bruce Arians. I mean, they have a good defense. Patrick Peterson, goal line. It's a tough situation, but, you know. You have Aaron Rodgers, Eddie Lacy, big bruiser. Randall Cobb is out, right, at halftime. So it's a tough decision. I don't hate the decision to go to overtime.
Overtime?
I think if you have the better team, you feel you have the better team, you go to overtime because there's more football being played in overtime. If you think that you need to take it, take the chance you got, just go for it.
One of the best kickers in the league. Rick Lovato snapping it, Tim Mastay holding it to tie the game.
On the year.
They had already moved that back. Now, this is not automatic anymore at this point, right? The 33-yarder. Before, it used to be like a 17-yard chip shot.
And it's tied at 2020. Jeff Janis.
Damn, they changed that rule a long time ago. I'm old.
2 catches last year, 2 catches this year in the regular season. And tonight, 7 for 145 yards. A 60-yard catch on a 4th and 20, and a 41-yard catch for a touchdown.
I mean, Jeff Janis is on the backside of this. He really is not even involved. Reacts back to the football. Patrick Peterson, who's been flawless all year, but watch this throw. I cannot
Fade away, falling backwards. That's insane.
believe that he got that into the end zone.
That's a play you call in a street game.
There aren't a handful of quarterbacks in the history of the National Football League that are athletic enough to make that turn, that
To date, even today, Mahomes is the only other guy that I've seen personally that could do that.
pivot and strong enough armed to get it into the end zone, and they have a chance to win 2 games on plays just like that. This is insane.
And he was pressured by Marcus Golden. Now you're going to get Blakeman bringing the guys out. You got the coin toss. You know how this works. The team that receives scores a touchdown, game over. A field goal or less, the other team gets it. And we play on it. And unlike the
That's why, like, do you go for 2 or not? Because you're betting the whole game on a coin flip. But I feel like it's easier to get 2 than to stop 2. So it makes sense. Excuse me, other way around. It's easier to stop 2 than to get 2. On the goal line, it's easier to defend the goal line, especially for one play, if it's not like a full goal line stand with 4 plays, because it's really just one play. The spacing's tough. There's not many places that the offense can go, especially with it cuts out a lot of your passing playbook right there. And so,
regular season, this game cannot
your playbook is very limited. It's favorable for the defense in a one-play situation like that.
end of the tie. We can be here until a week from Tuesday.
Okay, gentlemen, overtime in the postseason. We will continue to play until we determine a winner. Both teams are going to have an opportunity to possess the ball, unless the first team on offense scores a touchdown or there's a defensive score. Each team's going to have 3 timeouts per half, and all replays are going to be handled upstairs. Good? Okay. Again, the shield side is heads, the T side is tails. The shield is heads, the T side is tails. Green Bay, visiting team is your choice. Tails is the call. Tails is the call. They want the ball. Yeah, they want the ball. No, it didn't flip. It didn't flip. It didn't flip. It didn't flip. Here we go.
Please, you can't make any of this
It is
up.
heads, so what the ball? Which way you
Did Palmer just flick the ref off? Dude, that blows, though. Hold on, let me fucking see that again. What the hell happened here?
and all
I didn't flip. Yo, what the fuck?
replays are going to be handled upstairs. Good? Okay. Again, the shield side is heads, the T side is tails. The shield is heads, the T side is tails. Green Bay, visiting team is your choice. Tails is the call. Tails is the call. They want the ball. Yeah, they want the ball.
Ah, man, that's funny, bro. The little bickering right there and objection
No, it didn't flip. It didn't flip.
by the entire captaincy of the Packers.
It didn't flip.
Man, I would be pissed if I was the Cardinals, though. Like, that's your fault, ref. At the end of the day, whatever. Look at that. Clay Matthews talking to Calais Campbell. Dude, did he flick him off? I'm trying to see if Carson Palmer just flicked him off. Hold on, bro. It looks like he just flicked him off. Gotta pay close attention here. Oh, no, he was set. Okay. Damn. That sucks.
So wait a second. It didn't flip.
The coin went up and didn't flip, and so they had to re-flip it.
Dog, I would be livid if I was the Cards.
Come on, Al. How long you been doing this?
I'm going to flip right now.
This is nuts.
Aaron Rodgers with a bucket. I mean, holy shit, man. What a throwback.
Again, the overtime rules. Each team the opportunity to possess the ball unless the team receives.
You might need to update a little bit there, guy.
Even the kickoff. In this case, Arizona scores a touchdown. Anything less, the ball will at least be taken by.
The overtime rules have changed since then, but back then it was first touchdown wins. I think a kickoff meant you got the ball, and then if it was a field goal meant the other team got the ball, and if they kicked a field goal, then it was next point wins. If they scored a touchdown, it was over.
Green Bay for a possession. If they're tied after one possession each, the next scorer wins. Unlike the regular season, game cannot end in a tie. In the regular season,
that's the best way to say it, right? To lay it out is the way it's written here, because that accounts for everything, even though it's not as clear to read.
Each team gets 2 timeouts, but because this is like the start of a new game and a half, you get 3 timeouts. So Crosby to put the ball in the air. And Nelson will take it and take a knee in the end zone. Now, you talk about having cameras everywhere. When have you ever seen this? We have a camera on the coin. And you heard what the guy said, didn't flip, and it didn't flip.
I've seen pizzas flip more than that.
Yes.
What is that?
Man.
Hold on, so...
He couldn't do that again.
Oh, they won it anyway. Oh, okay, never mind. So I wouldn't be that mad if I was the Cardinals.
Tried it 100 times and not have it flip once.
You can't.
Really perceptive, though, by Aaron Rodgers to recognize that and immediately call for...
All the Packers did. Kuhn was out there. Matthews.
Kuhn was laughing by the end of it.
So now Arizona from the 20-yard line. Blitz coming. Matthews. Palmer stepping away at first. Palmer extending the play.
Nobody there.
Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is going to take it into Green Bay territory. Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, Larry Fitzgerald. What a fucking play. I actually thought the Packers won this game, but it looks like I was wrong. What a play by Carson Palmer to get out of the pressure. Wow. They must show a replay. Let's see.
Performers ever. His only postseason was one for the ages. So what happens here? 70.
Damn, he balled out when they went to the Super Bowl against the Steelers. It sucks that Larry Fitzgerald didn't have more postseasons, man. And a Super Bowl at least. One.
As great as it was by Fitzgerald, it may be better by Carson Palmer. What?
As they say in Hindi, ek. One Super Bowl for Larry Fitzgerald. Come on, man, we can get one. But that was a hell of a play by Palmer.
Escape somehow finds Fitzgerald across the field to set this entire thing up. And this was a huge tackle at the end because if Fitzgerald scores, it's over. Great play by Casey Hayward to give him a chance. And with what we've seen...
We got to see the replay one more time. I was hoping they'd show it one more time, but I'm just going to see it. Let's go back.
Happened by the end of it.
So now Arizona from the 20-yard line. Blitz coming. Matthews. Palmer stepping away at first. Palmer extending the play.
What a play. I mean, what a way to get out of the pressure. Scramble drill on the backside. Larry Fitzgerald wide open.
Crosses the field.
Catches it.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Fundamental as shit. Turns back to the sideline. Has the ball in his outside hand.
Fitzgerald is going to...
Cuts it back. Tucks it. Little stiff arm. I mean, this is a fucking hell of an athlete. He's underrated as an athlete, really, Larry Fitz is. But, I mean, wow.
It's insane.
He's insane for sure.
One of the greatest postseason performances season was one for the ages.
He's so fundamentally sound as a receiver, as a ball carrier, all of it, with his hands.
So what happens here? 75 yards, first and goal.
As great as it was by Fitzgerald, it may be better by Carson Palmer.
Ooh.
Watch this. Escape somehow.
Finds
Finds
him.
Fitzgerald across the field to set
Finding him, I mean, he was wide open. Let's
this
go.
entire thing up.
What a play. Great quarterback play, great receiver play.
And this was a huge tackle at the end because if Fitzgerald scores, it's over. Great play by Casey Hayward to give him a chance. And with what we've seen around the goal line from Arizona, who knows?
Meanwhile, the play clock all the way down, and so Arizona will have to take a
And I
timeout.
think nowadays you get 2 timeouts. If I could be mistaken about that, but they got all 3 back at overtime.
Took everybody through all the excitement and everything and having to go 75 yards to get down there. Go back to see what Fitzgerald did to get free.
Well, he's going to come all the way across the field, but because all the scrambling was happening, and the idea that Carson Palmer, who is not known for his mobility, not in the least, look at that stiff arm by Morgan Burnett, could scramble around and then somehow find Larry Fitzgerald, runs into Bobby Massey. I've seen everything.
Oh, yeah.
I have seen everything.
That's 7 catches for Larry
B.J. Raji.
Fitzgerald.
There you go.
171 yards. First and goal from the 5.
Pound it.
David Johnson is the running back. Fitzgerald set to the right. He's going to go to Fitz again. Incomplete. That time Sam Shields covering, second down and goal.
But they are also flying the safety over the top. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix is flying over the top to Larry Fitzgerald. Somebody has to get that in there to Carson Palmer. You have got to be really careful now. They are not going to let Fitzgerald beat him down here on the goal line.
John Brown sets up on the left side. Much tighter formation this time out of the shotgun. Brown is the motion man. Little flip to Fitzgerald. He scores.
That was something that Andy Reid definitely drew from in the in the playbook, in the Chiefs playbook.
And the Cardinals
Tough. Game over.
win an amazing game.
Who is this? I want to know who that was in the suit. Man, Larry Fitzgerald. What a player. Freaking football player, man. Larry Fitzgerald. Let's go. $75-yard catch and run. Wow. Guys, that was a great game. Shout out to Zay Loose, 71-22, I believe, or 72-11. Great wreck, my guy, Zay. Please keep them coming. Let me know what I should watch next. This was a hell of a game. This was worth the watch for sure. So thank you, Zay, for that. What a game, honestly. I actually did not. Again, I never watched this live, so, or I might have, but I was in college at the time. So my memory, you know what I mean, it's not that great because I was doing a lot of extracurricular stuff. So, I mean, this is a hell of a game. Glad to have rewatched it, you know, with my wits about me and see Larry Fitzgerald's greatness. And, you know, it's been two Larry Fitz shows in a row, and none of them resulted in the Super Bowl, unfortunately, for him. And honestly, me as a fan. But great game, great wreck, great watch, a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments, guys, what I should do next, what I can improve here, what to watch as well. And like, comment, subscribe, all right? All right, peace.